David was born in a small town. His family lived a very simple life. His father worked as a factory laborer. His mother sold vegetables at the local market. Money was always a problem. Sometimes there was not enough food. His parents worked from morning until night. Still, life remained difficult every single day. As a child, David dreamed big. He wanted to become a successful businessman. He hoped to give his parents a better life. He believed every dream had a chance. At school, David studied hard. He loved reading books after class. His teachers admired his determination. His classmates often asked for his help. Everything changed when David turned 16. His father became seriously ill. The family lost its only steady income. Their financial situation became much worse. David made a painful decision. He left school to support his family. Every morning he searched for work. Every evening he returned home exhausted. After many rejections, he found a job. He became a janitor in a small office. The salary was very low, but he accepted the opportunity with gratitude. Many people ignored David completely. Some employees never even greeted him. A few laughed at his uniform. Others believed he would never succeed. David felt hurt sometimes, but he refused to hate anyone. Instead, he focused on improving himself. He promised never to give up. Every night after work, he visited the library. He borrowed books about business and success. While others relaxed at home, David quietly prepared for a different future. Every evening, David walked to the public library. It became his second home after work. He spent hours reading every book he could find. Knowledge slowly became his greatest treasure. He studied business, marketing, and psychology. He also learned about successful entrepreneurs. Each story inspired him to dream even bigger. He wrote important lessons inside a small notebook. David knew that reading was not enough. He had to practice what he learned. So he started observing people around him. Every day became a valuable learning experience. While cleaning the office floors, he listened carefully to business conversations. Managers discussed sales, investments, and leadership. David remembered every useful idea he heard. Instead of feeling embarrassed by his job, he considered it a free classroom. Every meeting became another lesson. Every conversation taught him something new. One evening, an elderly businessman noticed David. The old man always stayed late at work. He often saw David reading during his break. Curiosity made him start a conversation. "What are you reading?" he asked kindly. David showed him a business management book. The businessman smiled with surprise. Very few janitors read books like that. They talked for nearly an hour. David asked many thoughtful questions. The businessman admired his curiosity. He saw determination in David's eyes. Before leaving, the businessman gave advice. "Never stop learning." He said, "Skills are more valuable than comfort." Those words stayed with David forever. From that day forward, the businessman often recommended new books. Sometimes he explained difficult business concepts. David listened with complete attention. Months passed very quickly. David's knowledge continued to grow. His confidence became much stronger. His dreams no longer felt impossible. One day, while cleaning an empty office, he noticed an old computer. The company planned to throw it away. David politely asked if he could have it. The manager agreed without hesitation. David carried the computer home himself. Although it was old and slow, it opened a brand new world for him. Every night he searched for free lessons. He learned typing, spreadsheets, and presentations. Soon he discovered digital marketing. The topic fascinated him immediately. He practiced creating simple websites. He watched countless online tutorials. Whenever he made mistakes, he patiently tried again and again. His friends laughed at his new hobby. They said it was a waste of time. David simply smiled and continued learning. He believed success required sacrifice. Slowly, his skills improved every week. Small victories gave him greater confidence. He realized his future was changing, not because of luck, but because of discipline. David practiced every single day. He challenged himself to improve constantly. Each mistake became another valuable lesson. His confidence continued to grow. One afternoon, a small bakery owner visited the office. She complained about losing many customers. Her business was struggling badly. She did not know what to do. David politely listened to her story. He remembered everything he had learned. After a moment of courage, he offered a few simple marketing ideas. The woman looked surprised. She asked where David had learned those skills. He smiled and said, "I study every night after work." Although she was unsure, she decided to trust him. She had nothing left to lose. David promised to do his best. He created a simple website. He opened social media accounts. He took attractive photos of the bakery. Then he posted new content every day. At first, nothing happened. Only a few people noticed. But David refused to quit. He kept improving the strategy. A few weeks later, more customers started visiting the bakery. People shared the photos online. Sales slowly began to increase. Within 3 months, the bakery became much busier. Old customers returned with friends. New customers arrived every day. The owner was amazed. She thanked David sincerely. Then she paid him for his work. It was the first money he had earned outside his janitor job. David did not spend the money. Instead, he bought better books. He also upgraded his old computer. He saw every dollar as an investment. Soon, another small business owner heard about him. Then another one called. Word spread from one customer to another. His reputation slowly grew. During the day, David still worked as a janitor. At night, he became a marketing consultant. His days were long and exhausting, but he loved every moment. Many nights he slept only a few hours. Sometimes he felt completely exhausted. Still, he remembered his dream. Giving up was never an option. Months turned into a year. His client list kept growing. His income slowly became larger. For the first time, he felt real hope. One evening, David looked at his parents smiling. They no longer worried about food. That moment reminded him why he had started. He whispered to himself, "This is only the beginning." His journey was far from over. Greater challenges were waiting ahead. David's schedule became incredibly busy. He cleaned offices during the day. At night, he worked with clients. Every hour had a purpose. Some days were extremely exhausting. He barely had time to rest. His body felt tired every evening, but his determination remained unshaken. As more clients arrived, David faced bigger responsibilities. Each business had different problems. Each required a unique solution. He never made empty promises. Instead, he studied every business carefully. Only then did he create a plan. His honesty earned people's trust. One restaurant was almost bankrupt. The owner planned to close forever. David asked for one final chance. The owner reluctantly agreed. David redesigned the restaurant's website. He improved the food photos. He launched simple online promotions. He also encouraged customer reviews. The results surprised everyone. New customers began visiting daily. Reservations increased week after week. The restaurant became profitable again. News of David's success spread quickly. Business owners started recommending him. His phone rang almost every day. New opportunities kept appearing. Despite his growing success, David stayed humble. He treated every client with respect. He never forgot where he came from. One evening, his boss called him. The office manager had noticed everything. He knew David had become successful. He wanted to speak privately. The manager smiled warmly. "I've watched your journey," he said. "You've worked harder than anyone here. I think it's time for your next chapter." David listened quietly. His heart beat faster. He knew an important moment had arrived. One decision could change everything. The manager handed him an envelope. Inside was a promotion offer. The salary was much higher. Most people would accept immediately. David thanked his manager sincerely. He asked for one night to think. The manager nodded with respect. He understood the difficult choice. That night, David couldn't sleep. He compared security with opportunity. A stable job felt safe. But his dream called even louder. Before sunrise, he finally made his decision. It was the biggest risk of his life. and there would be no turning back. The next morning, David arrived early. He carried the envelope in his bag. His heart was filled with mixed emotions. He knew what he had to do. He walked into the manager's office with a grateful smile. He spoke calmly. "Thank you for believing in me, but I have chosen a different path." The manager looked at David quietly, then he smiled with pride. "I expected this day would come." "You are ready," he said. David shook his manager's hand. He thanked him for every opportunity. He would never forget those years. They had shaped his character. On his final day, many employees came to say goodbye. Some apologized for ignoring him, others wished him success. David held no anger. He forgave everyone sincerely. He believed resentment only slowed people down. Kindness made him stronger. The following week, he officially opened his own company. It was a tiny office. There were only 2 desks inside. He had no large investment. He had no expensive equipment. He had only one computer and an unbreakable determination. The first month was difficult. Some clients canceled their projects, others paid very late. Money became tight again. David refused to panic. He worked even harder. He improved his services every day. He believed quality would attract success. Slowly, new clients arrived. Satisfied customers recommended him. His company earned a strong reputation. Trust became his greatest advertisement. Within 2 years, his business expanded rapidly. He hired his first employees. Soon, the small office became too crowded. David moved into a larger building. His team continued growing. They held businesses across the country. Success finally became reality. Even after becoming wealthy, David never forgot his past. He often visited his old workplace. He thanked everyone who had supported him. Whenever young people asked for advice, he always shared the same message. Your current job is temporary, but your attitude will shape your future. David's journey inspired thousands. People admired his discipline and humility. His story proved one important truth. Great success often begins with small steps. David's company continued to grow. New clients came from many cities. Large companies also noticed his work. His team became busier every month. Every successful project increased his reputation. People trusted his experience. Business owners recommended him to friends. His calendar quickly filled with meetings. Although he became the company's owner, David remained the hardest worker. He arrived before everyone else. He left after the last employee. His staff admired his leadership. He never shouted at anyone. Instead, he taught with patience. He believed respect created loyal teams. Whenever an employee made mistakes, David never embarrassed them publicly. He explained the problem calmly. Then he helped them improve. His company became known for honesty. Clients appreciated clear communication. They knew David never made false promises. Trust became the company's greatest strength. As profits increased, David remembered his childhood struggles. He knew many families faced similar hardships. He wanted to make a difference. He created a scholarship program. Children from poor families received support. They could continue their education, something David had once lost. David also donated books. He built small libraries in villages. He wanted every child to learn. Knowledge had changed his own life. One afternoon, he visited the public library again. The librarian recognized him immediately. She smiled with tears in her eyes. "You spent years reading here," she said proudly. "Now the whole country knows your name." David smiled with gratitude. He donated thousands of new books. He also provided new computers. Students finally had better resources. The library became full every day. Later that year, David was invited to speak at schools. Thousands of students attended his talks. They listened to every word carefully. He told them about rejection. He spoke about failure and persistence. He explained that success takes time. There are no real shortcuts. At the end of every speech, he repeated the same sentence. Your future is built today. Small actions create big results. The audience always applauded loudly. Many students felt inspired. Some even started their own businesses, others returned to school with new determination. David realized true success was not measured by money alone. The greatest achievement was inspiring others. That became his proudest accomplishment. Years passed very quickly. David's company became one of the fastest growing firms. His name appeared in newspapers. Many people called him a business genius. Reporters often interviewed David. They wanted to know his secret. Was it talent, intelligence, or luck? His answer was always the same. "There is no secret," he said. "I simply refuse to quit." Success belongs to those who keep moving, even when life becomes difficult. One day, David received an unexpected invitation. He was asked to speak at an international business conference. Business leaders from many countries attended. Some owned billion-dollar companies, others were famous entrepreneurs. David felt both excited and nervous. Before walking onto the stage, he closed his eyes for a moment. He remembered his first day as a janitor. He remembered every struggle he had faced. When the audience applauded, David stepped onto the stage. He smiled confidently. Then he began his story. He did not talk about money. He did not boast about success. Instead, he spoke about discipline. He spoke about perseverance and humility. The audience listened silently. Many people took notes, others recorded every word. His story touched countless hearts. After the conference ended, a young man approached David. He worked as a cleaner. His situation reminded David of himself. The young man looked discouraged. He believed his dreams were impossible. He asked David for advice. His voice trembled with emotion. David smiled warmly. He placed a hand on the young man's shoulder. Then he shared one powerful lesson. "The job you have today doesn't decide your future. What matters most," David continued, "is what you do after work. Never stop learning." Those words changed the young man's life. He returned home with new hope. That very night, he opened his first business book. David watched him leave. A smile appeared on his face. He realized his greatest legacy was inspiring others to believe in themselves. As he looked toward the sky, he quietly thanked life. Every hardship had shaped him. Every failure had prepared him for success. Many years later, David's life had completely changed. He was no longer known as a janitor. He was known as a respected entrepreneur. His company employed hundreds of people. Many families depended on those jobs. David treated every employee with kindness. He remembered where he had started. He never forgot his parents. He bought them a comfortable home. They no longer worried about money. Their sacrifices had finally been rewarded. David also created a charity foundation. It helped poor students continue school. It supported small business owners. It gave hope to struggling families. Every year, he visited schools and universities. He shared his journey honestly. He never hid his failures. He told students that success was built through patience and discipline. Dreams alone were never enough. Action was what changed lives. One student once asked, "If you could go back in time, would you change your difficult past?" David smiled before answering. "No," he replied softly. "My struggles became my greatest teacher. Without those difficult years, I would not be who I am today." The audience stood and applauded. Many people wiped away tears. His story reminded them that hope should never be abandoned. As the years passed, David became a millionaire. But money was never his greatest achievement. Changing lives meant far more to him. Whenever reporters interviewed him, they always asked the same question: "What is the key to success?" David always gave the same answer: "Stay humble. Keep learning every day. Work hard when nobody is watching. And never give up on your dreams." David's journey proved that success has no perfect beginning. It belongs to ordinary people who choose extraordinary persistence. He started with nothing. He faced rejection and hardship, but he refused to surrender. That decision changed his entire life. His story continues to inspire millions of dreamers around the world. It reminds us that our future is created by the choices we make today. Moral of the story: your current situation does not define you. Your education does not limit you. Your past failures do not control you. Your determination decides your future.